Today we're going to talk about Oklahoma linebackers coach Brian Odom, and all that's coming up after the bumper.
What do you mean you don't subscribe to my son's YouTube channel?
Mama, no!
Just snap the damn ball, RJ.
What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always OU related, college football related, sports related. We have a good time. And today, we're going to talk about new Oklahoma linebackers coach Brian Odom. Brian Odom is kind of Oklahoma royalty. Well, the Odoms are, just generally speaking. Brian Odom is a part of a legendary Ada high school football team. The old folks will know about the team that went 42-0 through those early to late 90s, 96 to 99, I believe. And this dude, Brian Odom, was a starter on that team as a freshman. Look, we're talking about a guy that was playing the Tim Tebow quarterback position before there was a Tim Tebow quarterback position. 1999, he carried the ball 344 times for 2,490 yards, 40 touchdowns. Dude was just straight chugging it. And then got to Oklahoma where he played some halfback and lettered on the BCS 2000 national championship team. So he's got a ring, and he'd be joining Cale Gundy as the only two dudes on that staff with national championship rings. The other thing that I like about Brian Odom is his come up. For those of you that stopped following him after he got to Oklahoma where he won the Ironman Award, you probably didn't know that he finished up at Southeastern and then started his ascent through the coaching ranks as a strength and conditioning coach at Arizona and Houston before getting on as a defensive graduate assistant at Missouri, and then as a linebackers coach at Washington State under Alex Grinch. And now you're seeing how this all lines up. So Odom gives Grinch another guy that he has worked with before and had some success with. And I would not be surprised to find at least one other guy from a previous staff that has worked on Grinch's staff, particularly Washington State, that will be added to Oklahoma's. I think that this is a really great hire because you know what kind of guy you're getting in Brian Odom. Everybody that I spoke to about him talks about his fiery nature and how the dude is just full throttle all along. And I can speak to this because strength and conditioning coaches, they're a different breed. Wanting to have been one myself, they are the kind of dudes that shake up the Red Bull, pour it in the Gatorade, shake that up, pound it 5 a.m. in the morning, and they go from 5 a.m. to 9 at night. And they really are kind of like football coaches on their own, in their own way, because as a strength and conditioning coach, especially if you're running a facility, you're responsible for not just football primarily, but all the sports, and you have to hire out your own assistants who can get out programming to the rowing team, to the track team, to the basketball team, to the volleyball team, while you oversee all of that and the football team. And you have to be able to be a capable go-between between position coaches and players. Your head coach has to hire you and be able to leave you alone. It's almost like hiring a defensive coordinator or an offensive coordinator for the head coach because it's that big a deal to where there's so many moving parts. The dude you have to hire has to be detail-oriented. He has to love his job, and he has to be willing to sacrifice things that he won't get recognition for, like being able just to keep a star running back on track who might have blown his ACL. The same thing can be said about a linebacking group because that position is a lot more mental than it is physical. I understand that there's a lot of folks that think it's just downhill and hit your gap and make a tackle. And as you can see, I'm a big believer in guys like Kenneth Murray Jr. I like Ryan Jones. I think that Brian Odom as an outside linebackers coach, if that's where they choose to put him, could do a tremendous amount of good, especially when you're talking about guys like Jalen Redmond, Ronnie Perkins, Mark Jackson. We can continue to go on here, especially raising up kids like Nick Bonito. And then you have somebody that I'm sure you want to put at the middle linebacker, inside linebacker position. If it's not Brian Odom, still think that Roy Manning could be talked about in that way. But now that you have this position filled with a guy that Grinch obviously likes and has great rapport with, I think you're setting off in the right direction, especially as you're getting ready to just go full into winter training and have Bennie Wiley go at those guys and try to teach the kids about how you do things. And I think Brian Odom is another guy that can just lay out the message that Alex Grinch is trying to get out to his players about changing the culture of the defense and doing things the way that he wants to do them and trying to be great at each one of those things each and every day in January on into August and September. Now, crucially, Brian Odom was apparently offered the job and turned it down. Really interested to know what changed on that front. I'm digging on that, and I'm sure we'll have something on OUinsider.com for those of you that are interested. But Oklahoma remains Oklahoma, and for kids and dudes that went to school at Oklahoma, particularly played football, I think it's always going to be an attractive option to be a coach, whether you are Brian Odom or Seth Luttrell or any number of the guys who have run through Oklahoma who are making their way into the coaching ranks. You'll notice DeMarco Murray took the running backs coach job at Arizona. I would not be surprised to find him at Oklahoma in a few years or in 15 or whatever. I just think that it's a natural progression to want to come back home, especially if you were the 1999 State Player of the Year like Brian Odom was. Again, what you're getting, a guy with a strength and conditioning background, a guy who served on staffs along with Gary Pinkel at Missouri, Barry Odom at Missouri, Mike Stoops at Arizona. Take that or leave that, but you got to look up that staff that Mike Stoops put together, and you'll see those guys are doing really, really well right now. And of course, Alex Grinch at Washington State, who was underneath Mike Leach. There's a lot of things to like about this hire, and I'm excited to see what Brian Odom brings to Oklahoma. All right, that's it for me. Doses.